My dog was a kind dog, uh, very polite dog. My dog was popular in the neighborhood. My dog used to have a lot of energy, very energetic dog, always jumping up on her hind legs, balancing on two legs, always standing up on her rear legs to try to get her face close to people. I loved my dog a lot. And I risked my own freedom just to defend my dog's honor when strangers on the internet threatened my dog. I uh, I risked my own freedom insulting people who threatened my pet dog Maggie, and she was a good pet dog, and I'm gonna get some of her ashes uh, put in a necklace, and I'm gonna wear it, and I'm gonna take a part of my dog with me wherever I go, because my dog Maggie was a polite dog, very polite dog. Uh, Always doing what she thought she could do to protect us and make us happy. And she did everything that a dog is supposed to do. And I'm doing the best I can to be positive for my dog, who is she's being put down right now, and it would make me too sad to witness it. So I am here, and makes me feel like a selfish asshole, but I am I did everything I could for my dog. I took her on walks all the time. I spent a lot of time with her this week. Ever since I found out that when I found out that she was going to die, started spending a lot of time with her. And it's because she meant a lot to me. So when I found out that she was going to die. I spent a lot of time with her. She lasted about a week or 2 weeks, and when I found out she was going to die, I started spending a lot of time with her. My my dog had a spot by the fence, and that's how a lot of people got to know my dog, and you know, they knew my dog by her name, and because I think there was a period where her name was on her harness, so people would call her by her name, and she dug the grass out of the spot that she used to hang out in and wait for people to come by, and probably, I don't know if they're gonna put some of her ashes there or what, but I'm gonna put some of her ashes in a necklace, and I'm gonna wear it, and you know, keep some of my dog with me where I go. don't know, there's a spiritual interpretation for putting something's ashes in like something that you wear, but I'm just doing that because I don't really believe in anything spiritual. I don't believe in spiritual shit, but like, um, I'm just taking some of my dog with me where I go, because my dog was a good dog, and I would arguably say that my dog was more trustworthy than any human that I have known. So, aside from like, I don't know, my mom and my dad or something, but that's because they're my mom and my dad. But my dog was more trustworthy than any human that I've ever had to deal with, really. So I'm gonna take some of my dog with me where I go by putting their ashes in like the jewelry that they make, where you can put ashes in it, and I'm gonna wear that. I can officially say that I feel like I avoid difficult emotional moments. Um, I don't know. I was there for my dog um, all the time. I took my dog on plenty of walks. Um, I spent a ton of time with my dog um, in the backyard. I've uh, I've been good to my dog, and I don't have anything to be guilty about. But it's not about me really anyway. My dog is the one that life unfortunately got cut short by cancer. Um, so it is what it is. Uh, it's happening because, you know, my dog was anemic, was getting harder for my dog to move around. And it was too, you know, I personally, household personally didn't want to see the dog suffer. And some people, when their dog starts getting like anemic on a losing battle with the type of cancer that might, or like, I don't know, any type of, I think I heard a story about some people that like their dog has like a heart thing or something like that, and their dog's getting to the point where it's all shaky and they need like a towel to help hold it up and stuff like that. And the household decided that we didn't want to see the dog suffer, so when it got to a point of like internal bleeding and anemia to where it was having a hard time moving around, and it was like, you know, just not able to really get up, and it was, you know, noticeably burdensome for it to breathe and things like that. We decided to have dog put down to ease its suffering because it was going to die anyway. And I'm going to carry some of its ashes with me in a necklace. So, I mean, I loved my dog, and you know, cried over it and shit, but there's only so much you can do. There's people that don't even care about animals. And you know, I don't have anything to feel bad about. It's sad to, it was really sad in the moment to be looking at my dog in the car and know that it's on its way to get put down. That was sad. That was almost as sad as when I found a sick cat and I brought it to a shelter, and then I found out that it was going to have to be put down. Um, but way sadder because I'd been with Maggie her whole life. So it was, it was sad to. It was sad to see Maggie for a last time in the car. It was sad. I all I can really describe it as is sad. It was I was looking at this dog that I had known its whole life for the last time, and it was standing there in the car, and I was scratching behind her ear, and just the finality of it, I guess, like there's nothing you can do about it. This it, like the lack of control. You're the feeling of loss, like you're not gonna be able to see this dog again. It was very sad. It was hard. It's hard to describe why it's sad, but it's sad because I've known the dog its entire life. Like I've known its entire life, and I was looking at it for the last time while it was standing in the car to go get put down to ease its suffering, and just scratching behind her ear for the last time, seeing her for the last time, having to close the car door, like having to close the car door, walk away, and then see the car drive off. Was sad, but it's inevitability. It's part of what comes with getting a dog. It's part of what comes with getting a dog, but it's sad to experience it in the moment, and it's a feeling that's hard to avoid. It's probably one of the hardest things that you have to as a human, probably. I would say I don't know how there are people that don't care about like domesticated animals like that. I really don't. I don't know how there are people that do not care about domesticated animals. And I don't even really like I know this is a time heals all wounds thing, but like kind of feels like something that takes a lot out of you. It feels like experiencing this kind of loss takes a lot out of a person, and I don't know how there are people that have owned like a number of dogs or like been through like multiple. Because like here's the thing, like I've had what's it called? This would be the second dog that I've had since it was a puppy that I've lost, and I don't really think I want to go through it again. Honestly, like I don't think I want to go through owning a dog again, because like the first one I had was in middle school and I had to get rid of it around like 2015, 2016. So it was like 2000 and quite a long time really. It was probably like 2009, 2010 to like 2015, 2016. So like quite a long time really, because this dog here only lasted like 6 years or so. So like, you know, for that being a tinier dog and for it to like have been healthy when I had to get rid of it or whatever, and like that one I didn't even have to like witness it get sick and like slowly fade away or whatever, because I was a situation where it wasn't able to live with me, and like even having to sell it to someone else when it was perfectly healthy like made me like upset and shit, and it felt the same as it like dying. Like so that's two dogs from like middle school to now that I've had to deal with, and I don't think I want to deal with like losing a dog or like pet. So like I don't know how there are people that have been dealing with like uh, since they were kids or whatever, because like dogs, and I don't think I ever want to deal with it again. So I don't know. I don't know how there's people that continually deal with shit like that, because it's annoying, like it's stressful and sad, and I don't think annoying is the right word, because like annoying implies like you're mad at the cause of it or something, and like I'm not mad at my dog for passing away or anything, like, so it's still just I don't know how there are people that continually deal with losing pets, because like having to deal with losing two was like enough for like a lifetime, as far as, you know, it was awkward even being like there after the car drove off. It was awkward even being there, because like I'm sure if I went and looked at her spot, I'd be like, man, it was hard deciding. There was the Dunkin' Donuts charity toy that was like a donut and like a bag for the donut that was like a dog toy that you could get for donating to a charity. It was like a fundraiser drive. I got that as her Christmas present, and they're gonna cremate her with it. And like even making that decision was tough, because it's like, man, I have to decide that like this dog is getting cremated with the toy that is its Christmas present, and after it gets put down, it was a lot to emotionally deal with. was hard to even decide if we were going to cremate her or not, because quite honestly, I wanted to bury her. I wanted to bury her at her spot that she sat by. I wanted to bury her at her spot that she sat by, and watch people come by the fence, and then people would say hello to her. I wanted to bury her there at her spot where she would watch people walk down the sidewalk and say hello to them. And the reason we ended up deciding to cremate her is because we didn't know if her spot would get disturbed if we buried her there. We didn't know. We didn't know if where we buried her would get disturbed if we buried her in the backyard. So we ended up deciding to cremate her. But even that was a tough decision, and that was tough to talk about. Because like, how do you decide? Because I mean, I think the dog should be buried at the spot that she sat at, and but it was a fair point, like, that the spot could get disturbed if we bury her there. So it's probably better to cremate the dog. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about cremation. I don't know how I feel about cremation as opposed to burying, because, like, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, like, it all deteriorates in one way or another. But at the same time, I don't know. It feels more impactful to bury a body than it does. I guess cremation is also, cremation's not bad either, but I don't know how I feel about burying as opposed to cremation, really. I kind of lean towards burying, I guess. And then, like, burying at a spot of significance. But you can also spread ashes at a spot of significance. I don't know. I kind of feel like burying is more impactful, more of a long-standing tradition, really. I kind of lean towards burying. I personally, if I had the final say in it, even though the argument has been made that the spot by the fence where she used to say hello to people could be disturbed, like the place where she was buried could be disturbed, or was one of the proposed spots, the spot by the fence or whatever, that could be disturbed. But, like, I don't know, even at the end of the day, I think it would have been better to bury the dog there as opposed to cremating the dog. But at the end of the day, it was a fair point that you bury a dog in a yard, and then, like, what if the fence gets taken up, and then, because they're digging the fence up, then the spot where you buried the dog could be messed up, or the remains of the dog could be messed up. It was a fair point, but at the end of the day, I still feel like it would have been a bit better to bury the dog at her spot, because that was where she said hello to people all the time. I don't know. She interacted with the world the most at that fence line. She interacted with a lot of the world that she interacted with at that hole that she dug by the fence line, and I kind of felt like it would have been nice, but what are you gonna do? You know, you can only do so much. You can only do so much. Plus, that way I can get the ashes put in the necklace, and then I have that to take with me. So that's better, really. That is better. It's better that way because the ashes can get put in a necklace. That's a way to look at it, as more of a positive than a negative, because then I have a piece of my dog to take with me, as opposed to not having anything to take with me. That way my dog can keep traveling with me through the necklace, and because then I'll have a piece of my dog physically with me, and that won't be that'll be better in the long run. In the long run, that'll be better than just having the dog buried at the fence line. And I'm sure there's going to be like an entirely new wave of sadness when I see the dog's ashes. I'm sure that's going to be a whole nother wave of emotions that I don't want to experience or have to process, but that is part of dog ownership. Well, time for, I'm gonna make some Fran Mandias. I am profoundly upset that my dog has passed away. Tinctures here in a moment. In a moment, I'm gonna make some Fran Mandias. I'm profoundly sad that my dog is gone. Tincture candy here in a second, because I don't really know what else to do with myself. You know, I mean, my dog would want me to move on. My dog would not want my life to come to a halt just because my dog died, but that didn't mean I wasn't going to be there while my dog was passing away, because no one wants their dog to be alone while it's suffering from internal bleeding and cancer or anything like that. So I'm not gonna let it like grind my life to a halt or anything. But at the same time, I wasn't gonna not spend time with my dog once I found out that it was dying of cancer. Even if that means that I had to change jobs or whatever. But that ended up being a blessing in disguise anyway, because you know, whatever. You don't even know what's going on in my life. Alright, so I'm gonna put tinctures on Mike and Ike's because I'm sad. And I think enough things have died from cancer in my life for me to have a reason to always be sad. Things have been dying from cancer in my life since I was about 7 years old. Um, my dad almost died when I was like 15 or 16, and everything kind of sucks. No, it's not a mukbang. I'm putting THC tinctures on it. Alright, so allow it to look ridiculous doing this on camera. Here we go. Alright, that was one dropper. We got another one here. Alright, that's two droppers. And then I don't want to overdo it because it's all just gonna... If it reaches the bottom, it's just gonna saturate the cardboard like it's doing here. It's just gonna sweat into the cardboard, so I don't want to put too much on it. But alright, there we go. This is proof that there is indeed saturation going on here. And this is something that I do because this is something that my past self would kick me for not doing. Like if I were able to speak to high school version of myself, um, high school version of myself would kick me for not putting THC tinctures on sour Mike and Ike's as an adult. So, you know, I kind of have to, really, when you put it that way. We got pretty solid THC tincture saturation on all these pieces here. So, of course, um, as with all things in life, as with all things in life, Well, as with all things in life, that offered me a momentary fleeting solace, if anything. As with all things in life, that didn't solve my problems and offered me temporary and fleeting solace, if anything. But that was those were Mike and Ike's with THC tincture on them, eaten by the best VR boxer in the world, uh, who is depressed as depressed can be. I've seen more things in my life pass away from cancer than a person could ever want to. And, I've had enough sorrows. Had plenty of sorrows. More than enough sorrows. I've dealt with more sadness than a person should have to, in my opinion. I've dealt with more than enough sadness, more than my fair share of sadness. More sadness than a fellow should have to deal with that's in my shoes. And they don't want to deal with any more sorrows. So I'm about as upset as a human could be, but I'm trying to be positive. Because letting your emotions spiral out of control in a situation like this doesn't lead anywhere productive. I am going to stay disciplined when it comes to continuing my VR boxing and, you know, general health endeavors. That's all I can really do is just keep working, keep working out and working for money, and yeah, getting emotional about the loss of my dog won't lead anywhere productive. All I can do is keep working on myself, as in like doing my VR boxing and bullshit, and work for cash. Also, that is also all I can do, really. Anything else will just lead to unnecessary stress and will only serve as a distraction. Other than that, all I can do is keep being me. That is all one can do to remain productive in an emotional state such as this. That is all that one such as myself can do to remain productive in an emotional state such as this. Considering that I am dealing with the fact that I have just lost my dog, which I cared about a lot, and now that dog is not going to be able to accompany me on walks every day, which was something that I grown to rely on, really. I grew to rely on walking with that dog. That was my walking buddy. That was my company while I was walking on the road. And now my company while I go on walks is gone. I defended Maggie. I risked my freedom to defend that dog's honor when people from the internet threatened that dog. And that might seem silly to you, but to me, that was me showing that I loved my dog, and that I was willing to die to protect my dog, which is some of the only family that I had. And I was willing to die for that dog. I don't care how that sounds to people, but and I proved it. I proved that I was willing to die for that dog, and that dog was my walking buddy that would go on walks with me every day. And now I have to walk by myself because the dog that would walk with me every day is gone. And that makes me very sad. And all I can really do is be disciplined when it comes to doing things that are healthy for me, to deal with the fact that my dog is dead. it's weird. It's weird even seeing that my dog is there or not there. It's weird seeing that my dog is not there and being at the place where my dog should be, but my dog isn't there. And, you know, I don't have my dog to go on walks with me now. I have to go on walks by myself now.